Good morning. Today we're going to look over some of the basics of how to start a Photoshop digital art project. So first of all, let's launch Photoshop. First thing you're going to notice when Photoshop is launched is it's going to ask you if you want to, to create a new project. You go File, New, if you don't already get this dialog box when you first start. I would recommend changing this to pixels. Change this to 1000 by 1000 and give it a name. So this will be my project. So there's our blank canvas. A couple things to point out. Here is your brush tool. If you click and hold, you can choose a brush or a pencil. Up at the top, you can change the style of brushes that you choose. So I'll just pick a normal brush for now. You can change the size of the brush. And over here at the side, you can select different sets of brushes if there are other brushes that you need. So I'll just start off with some basic assorted brushes right now. The other tools you might need to know is here is your eraser tool, and again that works similar to a brush where you can choose what kind of eraser you want to use. Here is the gradient tool, but it also has the paint bucket tool. And finally, if you need to zoom in, here's your zoom tool. If you click on that, up here is your options to zoom in, or you can zoom out. Now what I'm going to do is just create a brand new layer over here to start my first bit of drawing on. So I'll go over here and select a brush. You can change the size if you want to. These are the colors, so I'm going to select just a basic black color for right now. A keyboard shortcut to increase and decrease the size of the brush is the square brackets located on your keyboard beside the letter P. So I can create my first drawing, and there we go. If I want to fill this, I can take my paint bucket. I can pick a green color, or I can just swap these because I already have green selected, and I've colored that. Now what I'd recommend is that every new object you make, create a new layer. Once I'm done with this layer, lock it so that I don't accidentally change it. You can unlock it at any time. I'll create a new layer, and I'll then go back to my brush, and I'll draw, whoops, if you need to undo something, you can just go Edit, Undo Brush, or Edit, Step Backwards to undo multiple things. So I'll switch this back to black, and I'm going to draw the trunk like that. I will take my paint bucket, select a brown color, and I'll fill the tree trunk. Now I did this on purpose and put the tree trunk in front of the tree because in some cases you may have objects you want to rearrange so that one is in front of the other. And what I can do is simply grab this tree trunk and drag it underneath the tree and let it go. So now I've reordered the layers. Okay, so once that's done, again I can lock that level, create a new layer, select my brush, and I'll just create a basic horizon style landscape. Whoops. And again, I can lock this and just reorder it if I need to. So there's my tree. Because this is my background, I could probably just color the sky as well. Give it maybe a nice light blue color. If your layer is locked, simply unlock it. And there is my picture. I'll lock this again. And if you want to make it easier to identify your layers, you can click on them to rename them. So this is my trunk. This is my tree. This is my background. There we go. So if you ever make any mistakes or you need to erase something, so I'll just create a little sun up here. I'll take my brush and I'll just increase the size of this. And there I've made a sun. One thing you can do is if you start using some of the other styles of brushes, for example, if you use one with fuzzy edges instead of hard edges, you get more of a faded out version. And if I just click a couple times, I can increase the size of that. Okay, so there I've created a sun. I'll create a new layer and I'll just draw something in the sky so you can see how to erase if you need to. Decrease the size of my brush again, the square brackets beside the letter P. And if I drew a bird and I don't like the way the bird looks because I used a fuzzy brush, you can simply either drag the layer to the trash can. I'm just going to undo that. Or you can grab your eraser, and because you're only on this one layer, again, the eraser works like the brush. You can increase or decrease the size of it. Because I'm on this layer, only that layer will be affected. I can't affect the tree. If I wanted to affect the tree, I would have to go to the tree layer, unlock it, and I could erase portions of that as well. Okay, and once again, if you ever need to zoom in, here's your zoom tool. If I wanted some finer detail, I can get in really, really close, or I can zoom out. Okay, that's the basic intro to how to get started with an art project using the Wacom tablets and Photoshop.